I also think because I'm long and I'm kind of uncoordinated, like that's the reason. But fuck it.
I don't think I can actually do a cartwheel properly either.
Yeah,
I'm sure if I worked at it for like a day, I'd probably get it down. Because I'm sure a cartwheel you can get down within a day if you really practiced it. Just like how they have those like tricks so you can do a backflip within like a couple hours.
Yeah, it's kind of tough because I also want to try to learn how to do a handstand.
Yeah, I can't do a handstand either. Like, are you starting off the wall though?
Yeah.
I think that's the way. I think that's the way you're supposed to learn how to do
basics, but
yeah.
But yeah, back to pet peeves. Pet peeves.
Oh, I got one.
Shoot it.
And this one's nowhere near as big as yours.
Okay.
So, when you go to dinner,
yes,
you are given like a restaurant, not like Chick-fil-A or anything like that. When
sit
you go
down.
to like a sit-down restaurant, you're given a fork and knife.
Okay.
For the love of God, use the fork and knife.
So the fork and knife, as in, like the one wrapped up in like the napkin.
No, I'm just talking like I don't like when like let's say you have a plate of like fried rice from a Chinese restaurant or something, right?
Okay.
Like you have to, if you're scooping stuff onto a fork, don't use your fingers to scoop it up. You're given the utensils to do that. Use your knife to scoop it up onto the fork and do that.
Yeah.
Like don't touch your hands to your food unless it's like a finger food.
Right.
You know, unless you're eating like a burger or pizza. Even some people eat pizzas with forks and knives, but
is that uncomfortable?
eating a pizza with fork and knife?
Yeah.
No, I've done it.
I feel like if it's hot, like straight out, like still kind of like steamy and hot, acceptable because like the cheese is gonna be falling everywhere and all that. But like, if you're doing that all the way to like the crust, you grab a second slice and continue doing that, and it's like, I'll do that at the beginning, but then work my way up to not using it.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like that's how it's supposed to be appreciated and eaten.
Yeah, no, I mean that's.
Could you imagine eating a burger with a fork and knife? That'd be fucking weird.
I think no, people do that too. I've done that.
Why?
Because sometimes you get like some of those gourmet burgers. They're not really. Like burgers are kind of meant to be eaten with their hands, but sometimes the gourmet ones where they're like just way too big, you can't even get it up and like fit it in your mouth. Like using a fork and knife just makes it easier.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm part of that fork and knife game. Use your dinner utensils. Like they're there for a reason. I don't know, but I was also raised like
no elbows on the table type stuff.
My mom, no elbows on the table. You know, fork in your left hand, knife in your right hand. Doesn't matter if you're right hand dominant. Right, the knife is supposed to go in the dominant hand.
Yes.
Even though that's uncomfortable for a lot of people. And like I was taught all that. What's it called? Dining.
Fine.
Etiquette.
Dining etiquette. Okay.
Etiquette. And I was taught all of that, which is like I don't blame some people because some people just aren't taught that because some people don't do that. But my mom always said she's like, you never know if you're gonna have to have dinner with the president one day and you're gonna want to have like proper etiquette while eating dinner or something.
What do you think a presidential meal would be? I feel like a solid steak.
It depends on the president. Because remember when
are we gonna have a vegan president?
Wait, Trump gave McDonald's to all the college students.
Oh yeah,
That one time when they visited the White House.
But like, if you like one-on-one sit down with the president, what do you think's being served? Well, besides the option of like, well, he's president, so you can have anything. But like, I think a steak, like a respectable steak.
Steak or seafood, most likely.
Yeah,
I would assume.
That'd be pretty sick.
Or maybe like Italian. I mean, it really just depends on. I mean, at that point, I'd be a guest in their house, so it's whatever they serve me.
Yeah.
That's also how I was raised. Like, if I'm a guest somewhere, I don't get a choice. I eat what I'm served.
Yeah. No, I feel that.
Yeah. So it depends, but that was just kind of the way I was raised. Is just you never know who you're gonna end up eating dinner with, and you're gonna want to have proper etiquette in case you reach that point. Yeah. And like the president thing was over the top because I personally don't think I'm ever gonna meet the president or a president.
Yeah.
So, but like I think it still applies. Like you'd be having a business dinner with someone. And then, I don't know, maybe they get offended that you're using your fingers to scoop up rice on a fork or something.
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
No, that makes total sense.
Yeah, that's definitely a big pet peeve of mine.
I will say you don't know who you're gonna meet.
In fact, I've gone out on dates with girls, and they've done that on the first date, and I just didn't go out again with them.
You're just like looking at me, you're like,
yeah,
that's your.
It's such a small thing,
that's
and
the biggest red flag.
I admit it is, but it's just one of those things where like.
That's your pet peeve?
It just bothers me.
Yeah, like I
can't really explain it because honestly, if I really think logically about it, it really shouldn't bother me as much as it does.
I think that's the beauty of pet peeves, though.
It's like your own little thing where you can be more bothered than a normal.
Oddly enough, I wouldn't say it was a pet peeve, but it was like something always got to me was you have your generic like chalkboard, and if you scratch it or like that loud screech or like some shit, no one likes that.
Yeah.
I never liked writing with pencils as a kid because that scratchiness always just like.
I like that scratchiness.
I like. Now I don't mind it, but like as a kid I was like, can I use a pen? They're like, no. We're learning the alphabet. You can't use a pen. I'm like,
yeah.
Fuck. But
that shows you how little faith they have in you to succeed.
I also found out. Yeah, they're like, you're a failure.
I just made that into a super deep conversation. Let's just move on from that.
And so I'm pretty sure they stopped teaching kids how to do cursive.
I think they're starting back up.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
I think
because I'm not good at it, so you failed one generation.
Yeah, I think they stopped, but I think they're gonna start doing that again.
I was gonna say.
I'll ask. My sister's actually a grade school teacher.
Oh, perfect.
So I could ask her. She's in Nevada though, but.
Yeah, please do. I need to.
I'm sure. Well, actually, I don't know different education systems, but.
I will say, going back to you never know who you're gonna meet. When I was in Temecula picking up some good Christmas Eve scotch, and I was in line.
Like weed or something. He's picking up my drugs.
Crispin Kush, and but I was in line, and this gentleman in front of me turned around, and he was like, "Oh, like, what are you buying?" I was like, "Oh, just some whiskey." And he was like, "Oh, okay, cool." He's like, I haven't tried that," and we started to just go on this conversation of whiskey that turned into drinking Hennessy, that turned into drinking beer. Like, there's a time and a place to drink all these. So he asked me, he was like, "Oh, like, are you, like, what do you do?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm just a college student." And I asked him what he does, and he told me that he was the sous chef at USC, which I thought was so, like, odd, but, like, sick at the same time, because I was like, holy shit, like, we're just two dudes in line. I would have never guessed that. You would have probably just looked at him and be like, he's, like, a college student. But to be like, wow, like, he's, like, that's, he like, supplies nutrition to the athletes. I don't know why I'm talking like that. To the athletes at USC. I just thought that was so cool. And it just always, like, reminds me that, like, damn, like, you never know who you're going to meet. And I remember this goes to kind of like an interview idea, to where during a job interview, have you ever, like, been nervous, intimidated, something like that?
Not intimidated, just nerves.
So
I think it's normal.
I remember it's very normal. Like, it's normal if you really want it. I remember one of the best advice that I still to this day, oddly enough, transitioning to one of our topics, but people are people.
Mm-hmm.
I've always kept that with me since I learned it freshman year of college, because I was like, wow, like, you never know who you're going to meet, and everyone's the same. Or not everyone's the same, but, like, everyone has those same social nerves of, like, am I going to do good in this interview? Are they going to like me? What do they think of me? Like, all that.
Well, yeah, every person's human. Every person that you meet is human. We all feel those human emotions.
Yeah. It was just kind of... It's kind of crazy. And, like, that's one thing that I live by. And another one that recently, in, like, the past few months, I like this one. And, like, I really want this banner. But it's, comfort is a slow death, prefer pain. It's where basically...
Comfort is a slow death, prefer pain?
Yes.
So you're telling me to prefer pain?
I think it's more prefer the uncomfortable.
I totally get what you're saying.
Jump into the uncomfortable.
If you stay in your comfort zone, where you're going to go in life? You're going to go nowhere. Yeah. Because you're constantly just going to do the same thing every single day, because you're in that cycle. That's what you know.
Yeah.
And you got to...
you got to learn to be comfortable being uncomfortable.
We were actually just talking. We were talking about this before.
I know, right? This kind of.
We didn't even know we were gonna talk about this.
Yeah.
But we were talking about how like some people just don't have that drive, and they get into like specifically with careers.
Yeah.
They get into this like circle of life, where like you get so comfortable in a job where you were just in that. You're in that job, and you're gonna stay there because you don't want to break that comfort zone. Like you're too scared to quit and go find another job, and like start somewhere new to see if there's more opportunities there.
Mm-hmm.
And like people just get stuck in one spot.
It's hard to kind of break out and even take jumps. I remember before starting the podcast, I had this like weird gut feeling, and I was just like, fuck man, like what is this? Like I feel so uncomfortable right now, just because it was like, I don't know how this is gonna go, I don't know where it's gonna lead, you know, how long is it gonna take to really blast off, or will it blast off, like stuff like that. But I took it as, you know what, and it's kind of like what I want to apply to everything I do is just fucking give it a shot.
Mm-hmm.
Like even the other day I walked into a store for a job interview, I didn't even care about like online. I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna go in, and if they get to see who I am, that I'm here right now, and maybe that gives me the upper hand besides someone else.
And just doing that, stepping out of your comfort zone like that, gives you such...
You're a stand-up.
Like you just said, an upper hand.
Yeah.
Because you went out of your way, you went into the store to talk to them. Nobody does that anymore.
Yeah. It's so weird, and it's like, but such a cool thing at the same time. Like, I don't know, that one in comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah.
I think it's hard, especially in social media. It's like it's hard not to compare yourself to how other people look or how other people are successful or like anything like that. Like, you have your own life to live, and you gotta do it.
Yeah. Social media is really
it's cancer. It has its ups and downs.
It's done a lot of good for the world, and it's done a lot of bad for the world, for sure.
I think for the world it's done good.
We could
for individuals it's done bad.
Yeah, we could dive into this conversation so much, but we really don't have time.
Yeah.
Plus, it kind of goes off topic what this whole podcast is about.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's pretty sick though. So you know what?
I just like social media for the memes nowadays. Because I mean that's what I like it for.
Yeah.
Right. Like
I was remember the one TikTok I showed you.
Which one?
The little I don't know what animal it was, but it was like bouncing around, and it was like on the door, and then it jumped to the camera.
Oh yeah.
Boom, it was just fucking smacks it real quick.
I don't remember what it was.
It's like a fuck.
It's like a flying squirrel or something. It wasn't a flying squirrel.
Was it a lemur?
A ferret, maybe? No, not a ferret.
Was it a lemur?
Lemur. It was a lemur, yeah. That's it. Yeah, I just like it for the memes, though. Because to me, social media is an escape where I can just, like, have a laugh.
Yeah.
Because... No, I'm not going to go there. I already said too many things on this podcast in the past that makes me feel like people are going to hate me.
Fuck it.
But, like...
Be uncomfortable.
To be honest... No. Just no. Just no. It's not like it's anything bad. I just, running out of time anyways. But, yeah, I mean...
But if you have the time, and you have a third nipple, send us a pic. Send us, also...
Wait, we said not to send the pic.
Just comment or DM us. But also, if you have any topics that you want us to talk about or give our 2 cents, comment down below in our little podcast or our fucking YouTube.
If you want our 2 cents.
Yeah, if you don't, because, I mean, we're just 2 individuals. But if you do.
Oh, this whole conversation went in the loop. We were talking about just being humans. We're just humans.
Except that we put our business out there for you.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're back. Our camera decided to cut out real quick. Like I was saying, again this week, we still haven't figured out why this mixer isn't working. I've emailed the company, just waiting for a response. Mm-hmm. Probably just going to end up getting a new one so we can get it back up on Spotify and everything. Yeah. But until then, we're just going to be exclusively on YouTube. And again, you can find links to all of our social media and stuff, where we'll post when we release new episodes and everything. Yep. We've got Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Spotify. Shameless plugging. Just give us a follow if you like us. I don't know.